as I was saying, I belong to the Sifulan Malaysian Access Federation, and we are working very closely with MyREN. In fact, we are the collaborator when it comes to eduroam services in Malaysia. So what I'm going to do to tell you today is actually what we are actually currently be doing for quite some time in terms of some of the things which make it easy for people to actually join eduroam as a user. So the title of my presentation is Identity Federation and eduroam as Managed Services for NREN. This is our hope that many NRENs would try to emulate if we have some problem with onboarding users. So everybody knows if you are an NREN operator that identity services are now the core for NREN infrastructure. Almost all NREN have their own federation. I'm not sure whether there is any other NREN that do not have yet the federation, because I know we help the formation of Karsi, or sorry, Kaisa or something like that for the Philippines. So we help them. We also help Cambodia REN to actually have their CamFed. So this is part of our activity during the time when we receive Asia Connect.
Also BDRAN.
And so BDRAN, yes, and also BDRAN.
Thanks to Farhan.
Thank you very much. So this is actually me and Farhan presentation, and I'm here. So I'm just giving this opportunity to actually give up to you what we have done so far. So of course, NREN increasingly provide identity federation, provide eduroam, and also you have seen since this morning many of the shared digital services that they have already put on offer. So now, instead of us now in the next phase of NREN, the focus now availability is there. But now we need to go for service quality. It's no point in you having, yes, I have it, but users struggle to actually uses the facility. All right. And there are various level of users. Some are fast learners, some are really have no ICT background per se. So we have to actually address those kind of challenges to actually enable us to be more focusing on service quality. So the end user expect when I put it on, it's always on access. I don't care how you do it. It's better for me to just click here, click there, and it's up. So that is the challenge of NREN nowadays, how to make it seamless and how to make it always on access whatever the services that you have. So the challenge is not whether you have the service, the challenge is actually on the operation. So Identity Federation and eduroam with many member institutions have common struggles to operate reliable IDPs, to maintain skills and configuration. And the consequence of all these struggles is actually inconsistent user experience. The ability for us to make sure that users are happy is actually always been a constant challenge, especially when the new user or with a lack of expertise and so on. And then also there are many increased level of the federation support load. As you grow bigger, more institution, more challenges, you have to put more effort into the number of human resource that is needed to operate NREN and its services. You notice just now in Learn where they said, oh, we struggle, I can't remember. Network operation center or network engineers is actually hard to come by. It is expensive. So these are the things where we hope that we should be able to automate wherever that we can. So that has been the aim of what we are when it comes to actually operating the federation. So improve quality towards service offloading. It's not like we just, okay, do away and doing it automatically, but we want to make sure we are cleverly able to actually use the technology to offload some of the common routine services. So we offload IDP operational complexity from its member. That is our aim. That means there are many IDPs, there are many institutions who are actually having different level of expertise when it comes to being able to run their own IDP. And then also we need to standardize identity operation at NREN level. We haven't gone so far as providing the policy, but we are lucky to have the EduGain that they are able to actually give some form of service harmonization so that some common policies and common technologies are being applied. So what will be the end result is improved reliability, improved security, and improved trust. So at the end, it will be able for us to enable consistent experience for student and staff. And that is our main aim. If the student and staff are happy, we are happy and can sleep. Okay? Otherwise, you will be having a headache of having called up at 12 midnight and said, hey, my Adurom is not working. Okay, so that is one of them. So identity federation and Adurom as a service is what we have done so far. We offload it so that it will become a cloud service. So identity federation and Adurom as a service is our approach at Sifulan. So identity federation or identity federation IDP as a service entails NREN hosted IDP platform. So that means you offload and then make it into NREN. How you're going to do it? That is some of the thing that we will have to actually see how it goes. Institutional or institution connects LDP, Active Directory, or Cloud Identity Manager is actually what we can actually enable. NREN, the task is to manage the SAML, to manage the metadata, the certificate, and manage EduGain. So the IDP institution are happy because they don't have to do it much. But of course, there is a load will be rest on the NREN. But NREN should actually be able to cleverly try and foresee the use of, say, for example, Kubernetes or Cloud Native and so on, which is what we have done. So the other part is Eduroam IDP as a service, whereby a centralized radius, which is operated by NREN. I think it's obviously all of us are like that. But we want to make sure that it is high availability, the monitoring and the policy compliance is done tip-top. And that is what we should envisage. And then possibly that we can have integrated this Eduroam IDP as a service with the Identity Federation IDP as a service. So it works hand in hand. Although the Eduroam IDP is actually on the part of the network access, while the IDP as a service work at the application layer. Although they are two are different, but they are interconnected with one another. So operational and the use outcome that we have done so far, we have faster onboarding of institution. We are later I will share with you some of the use case that we have. And then the other is reduce configuration error and incident. The part is more predictable federation operation. That means because we control almost everything and at the as a service basis, then you will have improved authentication reliability. Improve or rather better experience for student and staff is our eventual aim. I keep telling because it is the student and staff that is going to keep bugging you when you run an NREN. We have done it so for a long time, then we know that is always the challenge. It's a headache. But we have to do it because you are the operator. So the Sifulan use case, we are quite proud in saying that we have the National Identity Federation for quite some time. And we have this institution is very unique because we have 140 participating institution which has very low level of expertise. They are the community colleges and they are the polytechnics. They are not universities. Some even only have one IT, the lowest level of IT staff, and they share the higher level IT staff among a few within the region. So this is the thing that we have done. We have developed Sifulan Connect, which is our pride and joy, which is actually an identity federation IDP as a service. And then also we have special EduRoam IDP as a service to complement what we have done with Sifulan Connect, which is the IDP Identity Federation IDP as a service. So we support institution with diverse technical maturity. It is very difficult. Sometimes their AP is actually non-enterprise AP. So these are common things. We have done it with the 140. If you have done it with the universities, easy. But if you are doing it with the polytechnic and community colleges, and then I see the drug net saying that nodding, schools AP. How are you going to do all that? So these are the challenges. So a contribution, of course, we have done. I think iFire X-Men project is an Asia Connect project, which actually we have done with Bangladesh, as mentioned by Mr. Taurid just now. And then you can have that iFire X-Men at .sifulan.my. We want to take a look at that, what they call that, the the service, no, the record of what we have done. So this is, I don't want to dwell into too much about this technical thing because I'm not technical, although I hope I have Farhan online with me that is able to actually give you some form of technical thing if you wish to do. But what we have done is we leave the IDP or we leave the directory services of institution alone, because that is the key in which whereby the institution will not allow you to actually touch their Entra ID or Google Workspace directory. They said, no, 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 this is mine. So what we did is actually we have the interconnect. That's what we call Sifulan Connect, which actually liaising with the Entra and with Google Workspace directory of institution. So we don't touch them. We just peering in a way that they communicate and try and say and make sure that what they are doing is a valid ID. That's all. So that we have done, and then we have connected it with the federation, and then we also connected, since Sifulan is part of EduGain, connected to EduGain Federation and its services. So that is basically what we have done with Sifulan Connect. And then, of course, even EduRoam as a service, we are using Get EduRoam, we are using sudo credential, and so on, just to be able to have this off-the-shelf, what they call the technologies, to be implemented cleverly to enable us to do it with less work. Less work is very important, I think, because then you have less number of human resource, less number of engineer. That means more efficient, hopefully, and also less money involved, less cost. Okay, so that is basically, so sorry, later you can have this. Behind Sifulan Connect and EduRoam, this is what we are proud of. We use cloud native architecture as a service backbone. We run 4 servers that we co-locate in one of the major service provider, major data center in Malaysia, in Cyberjaya. So we run it all on our own as a private cloud. And we use Kubernetes to do container orchestration. We do service isolation, and we actually proud ourselves to have a high availability and scaling of what we are doing. So less work. Farhan will have less work. That will be maybe can sleep easy. So of course, what we have done, we enable the reliable operation for all Sifulan Federation services. You know, the file sender together with MyRen and so on and so forth. Okay, so we support Federation skill growth and operational resilience. So what we have, I think this is the last slide. Building a stronger identity infrastructure across NREN is the responsibility of all NRENs. Okay, all NRENs. Identity Federation and Adurum are now essential NREN services. Everybody knows that. Operating IDP reliably at scale is a shared challenge across NREN. Okay, to those who are actually now embarking on doing this, we have some experience that you are welcome to actually just contacting us and so on. IDP as a service model reduce complexity for member institutions, yet encourage collaboration and interaction. And Sifulan Connect and Eduroam IDP as a service, as I just mentioned briefly, demonstrate a proven approach. So opportunity to collaborate, this is just my call, opportunity to collaborate and extend these services to other NREN, you are very much welcome. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for your wonderful presentation, and to keep it as succinct as possible. So any question from the audience?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not actually a question, just to show the gratitude from BDRN.
Oh, thank you. Farhan, are you in, Farhan? You hear that yourself?
It's a
Yep, I'm here.
heartful thanks to you and Farhan for coming to BDRN and train our people. And we have extended a little bit after receiving your things,
Yeah.
like copies or the infrastructure. That in our region, or in specifically in Bangladesh, many institute doesn't have SAML-based authentication services.
Yeah.
They mostly use the local database or
Yeah.
something like that.
LDAP.
So, BDRL, during the development of APAC File Center, we extended this IDP-based service to IDP OLR modality.
Okay.
IDP of last resource.
Okay.
Who doesn't have SAML-based authentication?
Okay.
We create a system so that they can manage their user database in their local database server, whatever the means of it.
Yeah.
They can use the IDP facility.
Yeah.
That's an extension for BDRN. So from you, I would like to convey this message. Whoever needs such assistance,
Yeah.
BDRN is here to help them.
Yeah. Same.
Thank you.
Anytime. Anytime. Farhan, do you like to say anything, Farhan?
No, thank you. It was my pleasure to help PDRN during the FIS-MEN project to set up the IFRS-MEN EDROM IDP as not EDROM, sorry, the Identity Federation IDP as a service infrastructure there.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you, Farhan. So
You're welcome.
the problem is, at the moment we are running two separate database for Eduroam authentication and for IDP authentication. Whether these two databases could be, if it could be the same, then the authentication would have been far more simple. Okay, so but whenever
Yes,
I talk to my
hmm.
IT guy, he says it's not possible. Whenever I talk to my Eduroam guy, he is also saying that it's not possible. So I don't know.
It is possible actually, because for all the polytechnic and community colleges, we integrate Identity Federation into the EDUROM IDP as a service. So, of course, there is pros and cons in the design, but overall, it has run for like 3 years now, and it works. Of course, there's a hiccup here and there, but generally, it's a smooth sailing. And in fact, it attracts some other institution to also embarking the same model as well. So, and another fact, I think it is still, so Malaysia is the country with the most deployment of the eduroam pseudo credential model. After we are number one, number two is Netherlands, if I'm mistaken.
Okay, Farhan, my technical people will be in touch with you.
Sure, no problem.
If we can do it, that will be a revolution.
Okay,
Okay, so our next presenter
all right.
is the Jamilur Rahman from BDRN. He will give, in a nutshell, a snapshot of how eduroam is working in Bangladesh, the implementation status of eduroam. Especially, I will request him to describe the implementation in public hotspots like airports, what were the challenges he faced, and what are the challenges he is still facing, and how to overcome them. Thank you, Jamil.
Thank you,
Please.
sir, for giving me this opportunity. I'm Jamilur Rahman. I work in BDRN. My main identity is I'm working as eduroam NRO admin in Bangladesh. Normally, in every APAN I give some updates about eduroam. This time, I'm here with some challenges and probable solutions. This is the eduroam. You know very well what is eduroam. This is educational roaming basically. And our first challenges was to onboarding user and account management. Uh, basically, users couldn't change their own password or reset their password when they need. But basic eduroam didn't give us a such portal to manage users account. So BDRN developed an in-house self-service account management portal, which is centralized application and hosted for every member institutions. And through this portal, users can easily register their accounts by themselves, and also user can change and reset their passwords, and which drastically reduced admin workload for every institutes and also for me. And this is a very small snapshot of our portal, which is called eduroam user self-service user portal. And through this portal, user can easily get their accounts through email verification, and also they can change password, reset password. Also, they can get connection support from monitor.eduroam.org portal. And whenever users get problem, they can click on the last button, which is connection support, and it will redirect it to cat.eduroam.org. From there, he or she can download the cat installer to connect eduroam smoothly. And our second challenge was lack of structured campus network for every universities. Basically, most of the universities doesn't have any controller-based Wi-Fi network, and some Wi-Fi access points or routers don't support WPA2 or WPA3 enterprise security protocol, which is essential for eduroam and for 802.1x authentication for integrating eduroam with Radius server, which makes complex Radius integration. Basically, without controller, we have to manually connect each and every access points with our Radius server, so which is challenging basically, and also creates inconsistent coverage. Basically, if some universities don't have any cloud-based Wi-Fi infrastructure, there may not happen the auto roaming service. So user gets problem on connecting eduroam also. And my third challenge is integration with existing identity systems, which has been already discussed from my last presenter, and also my CEO sir has discussed that we have a challenge to integrate the existing Gmail or Microsoft 365 accounts with our eduroam users. Basically, many universities wants to connect their existing Gmail or Microsoft 365 accounts with their eduroam, and We know how to do this, but we can't provide them any concrete solution. Basically, we know that SAML or LDAP syncing uh, is here, but we don't know any concrete solution to implement this. Our fourth challenge is device connectivity issues. Sometimes, occasionally, users cannot connect their eduroam for unknown reason, whether they use old or new devices, and root cause often unclear. For me also, basically, after analyzing the log, we can get the real picture about the device failure, if anything happened. Sometimes local network settings also may be a root cause. And our fifth challenge is limited public coverage. Basically, here I have mentioned only 35 campuses are covered nationally, because we have almost 70 plus big universities where we can connect eduroam, or we can deploy eduroam, but sometimes uh, those challenges that I have already discussed in my previous slides, that some universities needs integration with their existing identity federation, or some universities don't have any structured network. So due to those challenges, we didn't implement eduroam. The rest of the universities, for example, only uh, we deploy only 35 campuses out of 70 plus. And that's why our vision is to expand our eduroam services to public areas like airports, public libraries, metro rail or railways, etc. And following this vision, we have already deployed eduroam service on at 5 airports, including all international airports in Bangladesh. And this is the map chart of our deployment. And you see that almost maximum airports have been already covered, except 3 local airports. And we didn't implement eduroam at those pending local airports due to the ISP issue. Basically, we didn't collaborate with them. And our strategic focus, why we choose airports for public hotspot. Basically, at every year, lots of Bangladeshi students and faculty members go to abroad for study purpose, and during their occasion, they will also come back to their home country. And at this transit, they can avail eduroam feature at respective airports. That's why we focus on airports first, and after that we may focus on our metro stations and railway stations also. And this is a statistics which shows clearly that our deployment at eduroam justifies that. You see that 45% of United Kingdom's user was connected in our airports, and this is the statistics for the last years. And this is our milestone so far. We have
Do you
done.
have the numbers? How many eduroam connection?
We have numbers,
Per
and
day.
this percentage has been calculated from that
Just a
number.
rough estimate.
Rough
How
estimated almost 10,000 users from
per month?
no, per year from the United
Per year.
Kingdom. From the United Kingdom only.
No. How many overseas eduroam login per day in the airports?
Should I show online?
No, no,
I
no.
can see directly.
No, just
Well,
mention.
Mostly 100 over per
Okay.
day.
Thank you.
And during this APAN period, this number was very high, and I checked that almost 500 users have been connected during this time. So this is a milestone which we have already done in our Bangladesh for eduroam service. We have done FTX, 35 campuses, service location map in monitor.org. We have offered CAT service, which is configuration assistant tool, and 5 airports. Also, we have deployed the self-registration portal. And this is the last slide of my presentation, which is appeal to APAN community. Basically, to unlock the eduroam full potential, we must beyond campuses to the full flavor of eduroam remain out of reach until all educational and research institutes and public spaces like airports in Asia are under eduroam coverage. So APAN can motivate their members institute to deploy eduroam their respective airports, and also can establish a regional working group or forum like EduGain or something else for eduroam admin, and they can arrange some training sessions or workshops to let them operate smoothly and effectively. And this will obviously promote this service as killer application for the community. So that's it for my lecture. So do you have any questions?
Okay. Thank you, Jamil.
Okay, thank you.
Probably we have a working group, right, for IAM? Diana, we have. But it was my appeal to the APAN community, at least to make the airports under eduroam coverage, but progress is very little. I don't know only the Tribhuvan airport and Bangladesh. I don't know about developed countries, but very few airports are under eduroam coverage, even in APAN.
Yes.
Please,
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Actually, after trained by BDRN, we have deployed eduroam at our campus. And according to your manual, we used $radius as radius server. But $radius store eduroam credential, especially password, as a plain text. So users sometimes use same password in several account authentication. So if any user put his common password to $radius, so it is although it is plain text, in plain text, so it's maybe harmful
For
for
security risk.
security risk. Is there any solutions?
If you explore more, then Dalorius also offer MD5 hashing instead of plain text. So you can also use that technology when creating the users in Dalorius. So
Okay.
you can use that.
Another question. In Bangladesh, although most of the airport has eduroam, recently I thought in metro station, if is it possible in metro to deploy eduroam?
Yes, this
it
is
will be
our
helpful
this is
for
our
us.
next plan, obviously.
Thank you.
Hopefully, we'll get in metro station. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
sir.
Jamil. So our next presenter will be Shankar, and he will let us know about the SOC, right? Security Operations
sir.
Center, Open SOC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
We
you,
are
Mr.
driven
Tariq.
to establish SOC, so your presentation will be
Okay.
very, very helpful.
Right.
Thanks for giving us time.
Welcome. Morning, guys. Before I go into the project itself, probably I should introduce myself. Some of you know me, some of you all don't. My name is Shankar. So I'm the Deputy Director of the Cybersecurity Research Center, which is a university, which is part of a university, University of Science Malaysia. So I'm also from Malaysia. At the same time, I'm also the CEO and founder of a company called BitRanger, where we commercialize the research that we're doing in our department in the university. And I'm also the co-chair of the security working group in APAN. So with that being said, let me quickly go into what is SOC. I think a lot of you all know what is a SOC. But for those who don't know, basically it's an entity, a unit within an organization that is either in-house or outsourced, focusing on monitoring, detecting, analyzing, and responding to cybersecurity incidents. So you may have a lot of these devices in your network, could be your on-prem servers, on-cloud servers, your PC, laptop, firewall, hardware devices, as well as any security device that you configure. They will be configured in such a way that they will send data to a sensor node. This could be in the form of your network traffic monitoring, either through port monitoring or fiber tapping. And you can also configure these devices to send log data, could be syslog data or agents that are being installed, EDRs. They can all send data to these sensors. And this sensor will be doing an assessment, basically with a combination of tools like IDS, network monitoring solutions, and so on. It will try to actually profile for known threats or anomalies in your network. When alerts are being generated, these alerts normally consist of a lot of false positives. So these alerts will then be sent to the Security Operations Center, where you have a team normally running 24/7 that will skim through the alerts to identify whether these alerts are actually false positives or true positives, and they will have to actually correlate data based on different sources that have been sending data. In addition to that, normally they also have threat intelligence, whether it's free, whether you pay for premium solutions, or you get it from your own community, you try to actually correlate it. Things like indicators of compromise, what IP addresses that are malicious, that are being communicated by machines from your net, right? So pretty much this is what a SOC is all about, right? So that's a 1-minute crash course. But let's look into the problem right now. So a problem with SOC is that we are having growing threats because of limited resources and fragmented defenses. So what are the resource constraints that we have? Often we do not have budget to run SOC, right? So based on our experience, when we reach out to our clients, which are primarily small and medium enterprises in Malaysia, our clients are often coming to us after being attacked, right? They never come to us upfront. And I think that's also the case when we're talking about NRENs. The budget allocation doesn't come in until a bad thing happens, right? And even if you have the budget, you need to actually employ cybersecurity experts to actually man this Security Operations Center. Now, globally, we have shortage of cybersecurity professionals. And even if you get to train someone that is really good, you also have the threat of being poached. I spoke to Asti yesterday, and Asti also was sharing this information that whenever they train up good guys, there's always the possibility of a bigger institution, private institution that's going to pay more and then get them to work for them. That is a threat in a way, but we cannot just say that, okay, that's a threat, I'm not going to do anything, right? And sometimes it's also hard to monitor 24/7. In addition to that, we also have operational gaps whereby policies, even within the same organizations, is inconsistent. There is no standardized playbooks. They don't have the proper or standardized way of identifying or taking remediation action against some threats. Limited SOC workflows, the metrics that are being used are not understandable to the management and so on. And finally, visibility issues whereby we have fragmented and disjoint tooling. That means you have different tools that are running because they're free or because you're already using it, but they don't talk to each other, which make things harder for the SOC operation to actually make sense. You also have issues of limited telemetry integration, which means you don't have enough data, you don't have visibility, you can't correlate a lot of things. And finally, you don't have shared cyber threat intelligence that you can actually make sense within the region. That brings me to the purpose of my talk today. So the BitRanger, the company, the spin-off company of USM, was recently awarded the ICIF grant to conduct this project. And title of the project is OpenSOC Southeast Asia NREN. So we are trying to actually help NRENs in the Southeast Asia region to come up with the possibility of setting up SOCs to actually monitor their own NREN, right? So what our project attempts to provide, we are going to provide open source SOC stack so that although we are focusing on the Southeast Asia, members of APAN, for instance, could actually leverage our resources to set up your own SOC. So since we are using open source solutions, technically there's no cost implication. Pretty much have to cover the hardware resources. But other than that, technically what we are going to do for this project should be repeatable across APAN community. And within this project, we are also going to train and make operational SOPs for the NREN teams, which again will be useful for everyone. And then we will establish a shared detection and threat intelligence collaboration among the partners that are going to be part of this project. So what are we trying to solve? We are trying to solve the issue of budget, low cost. We don't want to actually have platform lock-in, so you can actually pretty much coexist with whatever you have in your organization or your infra. And we want to actually establish faster SOC readiness through structured enablement so that you can actually repeat this. So we want the cascading effect. And we want to improve the visibility and collective defense across Southeast Asia and also APAN and NRENs. So the objective, so we are going to do a bunch of capacity building activities. We are going to establish regional collaboration where we are going to share threat intelligence. That will be in a combination of deploying honeypots. We are also going to deploy network telescopes. So there's many rooms for collaboration. Infrastructure development, we will have open source SOC that is being deployed for resource constrained environment. That's pretty much our speciality. So we actually go to SMEs because SMEs cannot afford proprietary solutions that would require them to change the whole stack of infra because of compatibility factors. So we try to coexist with what they have. So I think it will be relevant for emerging NRENs as well. Hence, I'm grateful to be given a slot to actually talk here. And then we'll also help to actually establish policy and governance, which is going to be tailored to the respective NRENs. What we have learned from my experience is that small and medium enterprises all have different policies, different issues. And I'm pretty sure that different NRENs will have different perspectives and issues to handle. So this is going to be tailored to your own organization. High-level roadmap. So we are at Q1. We are in the process of identifying our partners. So this particular APAN has been very helpful for me to actually finalize most of my partners, but I'm calling for more. So there will be a module 1 that's going to be online. Module 2 will be in Q2, where we are going to go into a distributed setup and teach them how to do threat hunting. And by June 2026, we should have our our target is 5 pilot deployments of SOC. And then we'll have another 3 that can actually come in remotely. So all of you are actually welcome for that. In Q3, we are going to do an online session for threat intelligence, the honeypot network telescope, how to share this. And in Q4, we are going to do SOC integration with telemetry enhancement. So you'll make use of the threat intelligence and so on. There will be also the module 4 that we'll be working on policy drafting and adoption. And this particular module 4, if everything goes well, I'll try to push it such that it will coincide with APAN63. So I'd like to have a physical session for this, but this is still a plan for now. And the original timeline ends in March 2027, 18 months. So why are we positioned to actually deliver this? We are a licensed SOC provider by the Malaysia's National Cybersecurity Agency. So we have experience doing it. We are also a spin-off company from University Science Malaysia. So we have strong academic and applied cybersecurity foundation. We also have proven track record in deploying SOC solution as well as conducting various capacity building programs. In fact, one of the programs that we did in the past was also involving BDREN. In this case was particularly BUET, I think about 8-9 years ago. We have some members in the room that are also part of those programs in the past. We have practical expertise in open source SOC engineering and scalable deployment. So we have received some innovation awards as well. And we have strong regional execution exposure and focus, and we focus on measurable outcomes. So who should join? So we are particularly for the scope of the project, because it has been scaled down, we are focusing on Southeast Asia members that are interested in open source SOC deployments, or if they have an existing SOC, they want to actually uplift the maturity. So we'll assist on that side, as well as skills development, if any. Non-Southeast Asia NRENs, all of you guys here, or member organization with interest to participate or contribute towards this initiative. If you have any questions, if you are interested, just drop in an email to opensoc@bitranger.io. And if you have beyond that, you think that, you know what, this can actually be helpful, I would like to actually chip in my resources, my knowledge into that, please reach out to us as well. So we welcome, because so although that I'm representing a company here, our whole initiative is always towards the NREN. So I know that beyond this, we can actually apply it through the APAN, to the APAN community as a whole. With that, I thank you and I open for questions.
Thank you very much. Are you interested to join? I think all the NRENs will be interested. How to join?
Just drop in
Just
an
to
email.
send an email to
Yeah,
you.
and then we will
Very
facilitate
easy.
everything.
So send an email as soon as possible.
Yes.
First come, first serve, right?
The,
Southeast Asia region, and not towards the other region like South Asia.
okay, the way that we proposed is that we requested for what do we call funding. We asked for more, we got slashed, so we had to scope down. But within our proposal, we mentioned that our KPI to be having 5 physical deployments. That means these are people that we will guide ourselves. They will be attending, we'll handhold them, so to say. But alongside that, we will have a set of documentation that should make other people to just set up by themselves, right? So technically, although I said only 3, that number can scale, right? So anyone who have decent knowledge should be able to actually participate from the additional options. what we have to figure out is when we're doing on-site trainings and so on, whether we can actually get the budget to do it, for which we may look at other options. Or if you think that you have budget for travels, for instance, we can definitely consider that as an advantage to bring you in. Thank you.
The Southeast Asian NRENs will get higher preference in terms of costing and budgeting, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, but we mainly, what we look for is mainly the capacity development
Yeah.
and the sharing of expertise.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much, Dr. Shankar. Our next presenter will be from LEARN. Where is Tiranka? He will be presenting on the updates of Starlink in Sri Lanka, whether it's a threat or an opportunity for NRENs. So please introduce yourself and go ahead with your presentation. Thank you.
Sure.
What is yours?
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. So, still good morning. So, good morning, all of you. So, today I'm going to discuss the Starlink in Sri Lanka and that affect to the internet and NREN systems. I'm talking with the learn perspective. So, myself, Tiwanku Magilege. So, I'm working as a senior solutions engineer for the learn Sri Lanka. So, first of all, I would like to give the brief about the Starlink presence in Sri Lanka. So, actually, Starlink received TRCSL licensing in August 2024. TRCSL mean telecommunication and regulation in Sri Lanka, but they launched their services in 2025, actually July 3rd, 2025. So when it comes to the market share, so Starlink is still trying to get market from the Sri Lankan context. So still the overall presence is less than 1% with the other ISPs. As an NREN, we mostly considering the education sector. So when we considering the education sector, it's near to 0.1% at the moment. So when it comes to the higher education sector, so it's less than 0.1%. So that's the progress now from Starlink side. In future, we can think about the Starlink collaboration in education sector because in 2024, our former president informed that Starlink will release few packages for the education sector with affordable prices. So this is the paper article that indicating that. So is Starlink threat? Actually, yes, for other ISPs, not for LAN. Actually, Starlink already challenged for the other ISPs. If you want, you can see our major ISPs are now reducing the prices and all the things and giving the unlimited broadband connection to the Sri Lankan people. So there's Starlink break the monopoly in our country. So the other ISPs are reducing their prices and giving attractive packages for our users. Actually, Learn also getting benefit from them getting benefit from that manner. So because Learn is also renting and leasing the fiber links from that major ISPs. So we are using the VPLS connection from that ISPs. So that prices also get reduced due to that competition. So we provide, we transfer that benefit to our universities as well. So uh, actually, I have to mention one thing. This is not happened yet, but in future we can think about this. So in Sri Lankan, research data can be in risk in future because actually Starlink is directly connected to their satellites and transfer their data through their satellites. So we have less control about that mechanism. If our users and institute use our fiber network, so some sort of level we can control that data through our networks. So uh, actually this is the positive side. Actually, Starlink can be an opportunity for learn side. I'm talking related to learn because I'm representing learn. So actually, we can use Starlink for the backup and redundant connectivity. If we use fiber connection for the main primary connection, in future we can think about the backup Starlink as a backup connection. So sometimes we have faced to the outage due to the disasters. So that's we can think about the Starlink as a backup. Also, we can use Starlink for the unserved and the rural areas uh, to establish connections, as well as we can use Starlink as we can get the collaboration of Starlink for the special projects. We have agriculture, IoT related things, and environmental monitoring stations. We have huge demand on that kind of projects. So also we can use disaster response partnership with Starlink in near future, because you all know we have in last year we faced the Ditwa. So at that moment, actually most of the people got the connection from the Starlink because the major fiber lines are damaged. So we can think about that opportunities as well. So in our idea is learn, not just giving internet. It's a mission-driven digital infrastructure we are providing, and it's a collaborate ecosystem for the academia. As a learn, internet is one thing for us. We are providing more services than that. So actually, Starlink is not threat for us.
Okay,
I learned.
thank you.
Well, thank you so
very
much. Thank you.
Any question from the audience?
Sorry.
Regarding CDN, content
Yes.
delivery, because Starlink doesn't drop the traffic to local,
Yes.
right? So there are supposed to be an impact on content
Local
delivery.
cache.
Yes.
Actually, at the moment, we don't have any idea about that. There's a latency with the Starlink, so we have to think about that.
And global drain connectivity as well.
Yes. So actually, we didn't think about that manner. So
Okay, thank you.
thank you so much. Thank you.
So there are some challenges in
Yes, yes,
connecting the,
Yes.
getting
yes.
the CDN
Yes,
traffic.
yes.
The latency will be
Yes.
a bit higher.
Yes.
Um,
Actually.
So, Mr. Ariful, thank you very much.
So thank you so much for the
Ariful
opportunity.
mentioned,
Okay. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
in short, whether the challenges that they are facing, LAN is facing, whether it is there in Bangladesh, or whether there is any opportunity for BDN in getting the Starlink connectivity. And the question that Arifin was asking, how in Bangladesh the CDN traffic is being managed. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. So I'm going to short my presentation. So with the specific question from the chair, so I don't go with any introduction or context of this Starlink services. I just want to say the architecture of the, it will give you the lot of answer of your lot of questions. This is the architecture. This is basically the low Earth orbit satellite-based internet services thousands of satellite, like LEO satellite is closely working with the Earth, and there you will see the three segment of this architecture. It is satellite segment, the ground station, and the user segment. So all those satellites communicate with this ground station and the user dish antenna, the Starlink provided. So Bangladesh context, they had to, if I say in Bangladesh context, so they had to, as the regulatory restriction, they're supposed to install 7 or 8 ground station in our country, and they have to pass their internet through our submarine cable. So they already installed 3 ground station in Gazipur, Rajshahi, and Jashore, and supposed to install another 3-4 substation ground stations. So Kochabazar, Sylhet, and Kumilla. And if you see the statistics of the Starlink, they are still struggling. So this is the last 6 months statistics after launching their operation in Bangladesh. They have only 1,800 user active device in our country. And of course, a good number of requests pending as different sort of logistic issues. So still now they subscribed 80 Gbps bandwidth. They have integrated with the infrastructure. I mean, to get the IX services and CDN services. They already connected to the NTTNs and the data center service provider. They also try to convince the government they like to provide the Bangladesh as a transit hub for the neighboring country. They already launched their application to the government, but still it is in pending. And for distribution, they appointed and they signed different types of contract with the reseller and the two type of contract they signed to distribute the service. One is enterprise level, and another is personal residence level. So this is the cost, basically service cost. So you will say the two type of packages they designed for the residential. So you need to expend more than $35 to $50 per month. And the initial cost is very high. It is around about 400 to 400 USD. So these basically discourage people to get the service from the Starlink, as initial cost is very high. So it is basically attracting to the corporate house and the freelancer or the digital mover who are actually roamer, basically moving around the globe or the region. So this is the pros and cons at a glance. I would say it has the definitely it has the sort of benefits, like once you have the any issues with the reachability or internet to the, especially for the hilly and coastal and the many geographical area where it's challenged to reach the internet. So it is the best solution so far. And this is also easy to install and set up, but still initial cost is high. So this is the basically it has some pros and cons both way. And if you say the performance-based statistics, still you will find the 5G maybe going to be the threat for the Starlink. If 5G 5G can deploy perfectly and covers the area, so Starlink 5G may be going to be a threat for the Starlink. So we have seen that lot of challenges and technical and the service modality from the user's perspective. So for the residential user, they don't have any sort of static IPs. And the enterprise user, they have, but it is costly. Enterprise or business user, they have the data usage cap, and they which is basically, if as a NREN we want to provide our connection to the universities, those are basically exceed their internet speeds mostly 1 Gbps. So we need to daily upgrade our institute 1 Gbps, 10 Gbps. So this sort of connectivity data uses is very high. It is not suitable at all for the universities and the other the high uses companies. So technical issues is you will say that if you have if you have a footprint in internet, you have a internet resources. So there is no any facilities to give to configure a BGP to use your internet resource to get the internet services. So this is one of the major deficiencies that now we have observed for the Starlink. And another thing is there is no way to extend your layer 2 boundary basically. So if you want to extend your service in multiple campuses and extend as a data connectivity, it is not possible right at this moment with the Starlink. And we see regulatory, they have to face the same as the local licensing policy, local operator issue. They are regulatories like lawful inspection, national security outside. So, you know, we have now personal data protection ordinance. So they have to go through with this ordinance as well, and the cross-border data. So I have mentioned in my previous slide, they already apply for the regional hub. So still it is pending. Other than BTRC, the Bangladesh Telecom Regulatory Commission already pushing them to give the monitoring tools to monitor the, especially for the roaming user who are, I mean the foreign user, roaming user who are not actually served to the local ground station. So these sort of things they are facing a lot of challenge, and they have to comply with the regulatory. So we all once the Starlink launched and announced they will operate in our country, we always thought that that is not possible to shut down the country internet during the political unrest, but still it is possible. Other than the disaster recovery or the responses. So is it threatened for the ISPs? I mean, including the NREN? I would say no, because our speed and capacity of usage is more than the capacity that Starlink right now providing. In our country, ISP is more than cheaper right now than the Starlink. So it is faster than the Starlink, especially in the urban area. And maybe ISP is more easier for BTRC to regulate. So I would say Starlink cannot be a mass market broadband solution for Bangladesh. It is a strategic complementary technology that strengthen national connectivity resilience, but not replace fiber and the mobile network. So any question?
One of my questions will be how BDRN is actually taking the benefit
Okay.
of Starlink.
Okay, BDRN in terms of benefit BDRN, we don't have somewhere like if we say Chittagong Heltix, one of the university, they have the campus. There is no any local ISP. In that case, temporary base, we can give them support with the Starlink. But for long run, we cannot think with the Starlink. Temporarily, where we don't have any fiber connectivity or any out of reach of the NTTN connectivity, so we can
Is there
immediately.
any such connectivity?
Yes, we have one connectivity, and we are planning for another 2 or 3 connectivity. Yes, BDRN deploy one connectivity, and another is under deployment. We have planned another 3 or 2 connectivity with the Starlink.
Okay, so actually the Starlink, we are using it only as a last mile connectivity.
As a last mile. Oh, Bangladesh perspective is definitely as a last mile
So
connectivity.
it is going to satellite, then coming back again to ground
Ground
station,
station.
and it is connected to fiber optic cable. So the internet switch that government will regulate that traffic in case of any emergency, any national security, or for any oversighting. It is still there. So it was a hype that once Starlink will be established, then government will not be able to control that traffic
Shut down the
anymore.
internet, yeah.
The global shutdown of internet will be over. But it is not happening in case of Bangladesh, because as it is coming to the ground and as it is going through IIG, so it is not happening. But the advantage is it is connected with national internet exchanges. So the CDN traffic, which is a challenge for Sri Lanka, it is not happening
In
case
Bangladesh, yeah.
in case of Bangladesh.
Bangladesh.
Because they are connected to, as it is coming down, they are connected to internet exchanges. So the CDN traffic has been taken care of.
Yeah, so local traffic remain local.
So
Yeah,
latency is minimum.
minimum.
So
Yeah.
my one question to Karma will be, because time is short, how Bhutan is addressing this situation, or whether Drukren is taking it as an opportunity or as a threat.
We are definitely, because most of the points that previous speakers have covered is very much relevant for Bhutan as well. So we have introduced Starlink in February 2025 with the whole objective to not to replace the
definitely.
terrestrial infrastructure,
Yeah, yeah.
but to complement them, right? We have, because Bhutan is a mountainous country, we have lots of schools especially, and few primary health centers, which are located in a very remote areas where stringing fiber is not possible, not feasible. These schools that are located in remote areas are about 100 to 200 kilometers away from our nearest Drukren POP, or also the service providers' point of presence. So thus, we have recently in August 2025 initiated this pilot project to connect the underserved, unconnected schools. We have selected 3 schools, and out of 3 schools, 2 schools do not have fiber connectivity, so they are not connected to internet. They were using the mobile services earlier, but now what we have done is we have provided Starlink connectivity to these 2 schools. One is located in the east, one is located in the north part of the country. The 3rd school already has the fiber connectivity, but the fiber connectivity is not that reliable. We do have a lot of rodent attacks, squirrel attacks, wildlife conflicts that brings down the fiber. So lots of fiber cuts on that particular school. So we have provided them with the Starlink terminal, which is basically used as a redundant link. Just in case the fiber link goes down, then they connect to the fiber. They connect using the Starlink. As of May 2025 last year, we have about 65 end users using Starlink. The recent report has not come out. The regulator is going to publish the report by end of Feb, I think, where we will understand the uptake of the coverage of Starlink, presence of Starlink in Bhutan. But my personal take is that it has not really much disturbed or distorted the existing market share of our local internet service provider. From the Drukren side, for the National Research and Education stand is that we will deploy Starlink only if the fiber connectivity is not able to be provided. So those cases will be explored again in the future so that we can.
You were mentioning that the schools, they have only 95% or 97%
Yes.
availability.
Yes.
So are you considering to use Starlink as a backup connectivity rather than extending a separate fiber inside the school?
Not really. That's not our priority. We would rather love to, our priority is to improve the fiber reliability by introducing another fiber route. Because we understand that the the requirement of the data volume that needs to be consumed by the schools will not be met by Starlink.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the update. So next, we are moving on to collaboration. So on South-South collaboration, Arifin is going to present the collaboration approach that BDN is taking.
Good time. South-South collaboration, leveraging South-South partnership for innovation. It's a very short and very precise presentation from my side. BDN has many collaborative activity with its our peer organization like NRENs, as well as overseas partners like GSS, and also with some local partners and universities and research fellows as well. So I am giving a summary of last couple of collaborative approach which partners with BDN and the South countries. Like NNA, NREN need assessment. This was an initiative. Here you can find it was an funding agency was in Asia Connect. So it was a project or consultancy to get an overall requirement, collecting an overall requirement from each and every NREN for distributing the funds of Asia Connect. So BDN and LEARN jointly collaborated this project. BJP was a joint, it was an initiative of Tsinghua University, China, funded by APNIC, and BDN was one of the major stakeholder for executing the BGPOS project. EpiGain project and EpiGain Plus, both LEARN initiated project, and one was funded by APNIC Foundation, another was sponsored by Asia Connect, where BDN was as a co-PI partnership modality, as well as LEARN, one of the major training occurred or executed at the BDN premises. FDLU DCF, this was a great project through which we overcome our challenges in COVID-19, because under this project, we acquired a massive number of Zoom license through which all these region people could execute or continue the academic activities through Zoom. It was a joint funding from Asia Connect as well as Nordonet, and BDN, Drukren, NREN, Priginet, LEARN, and Thyren was the partner of this project or beneficiary of this project. And as an update or next continuation to this project, Belisec project initiated, where NREN, Drukren, BDN, LEARNet, Cambret, and LEARN was the beneficiary. And then Zoom license under SEQUEN, Southeast Asian countries research and education network, BDN, NREN, Drukren, and LEARN jointly formed this consortium, SEQUEN, and then as an economy of scale, we purchased bulk number of Zoom license after pandemic, because now online classes or hybrid classes is a new normal activity today in our today's education life specifically. So it is now self-financed, and we are giving this bulk number of license to our institute in a very cheaper price. And e-compendium, it is an BDN and Asia Connect joint venture, we can say. There was no funding issue. It's a sponsor from BDN to the community. What next? As I mentioned in my previous slide, that we have already subscribed a bulk number of Grammarly licenses, and we are planning to purchase subscribe Drillbit license and Goodbot license, which will be if we can do that in a collaborative way with other NRENs like SEQUEN and other LEARN, other NRENs, then economy of scale, we can get very cheaper price, because currently we are getting Grammarly price as a $20 per year. So if we can move on such modality in future, it will be beneficial for the whole community. That's all from South-South collaboration from BDN perspective. Thank you. Any question or I think no.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Arifin. So our next presenter was supposed to be present from online. Omo, are you there? Omo?
Good morning, Torit. How are you? Can you
Good
hear
morning.
me?
Yes, yes. Loud and
Okay.
clear.
Oh, I'm glad that's the case. I'm barely awake. But good morning. It's been really interesting listening to the presentations.
Yeah, please
Um,
introduce yourself and continue with your presentation. Thank you.
Well, I actually don't have one, so I will speak to the room. Well,
Okay,
my name's Omar Oaya. I am Chief Strategy Officer for WACREN, and so it's unfortunate that I cannot join you in person. I was really looking forward to doing that, but WACREN has a strategy retreat, which I facilitate this week in Lome. So I'm hoping my hotel connection, holds out until this is true. But I'm actually listening to the presentations, the earlier presentations. I'm thinking it makes a stronger case for what I would like to talk about, which is when I listen to Arifin talking about South collaboration, it seemed limited to your region, and I think that this is there's a dimension that is underexplored, but is strategically critical, which is the South collaboration between our regions, so Africa and Asia, as the case may be, or particularly with Southeast Asia, as I'm seen as predominating. So historically, we've had NREN relationships framed by the North-South sort of dimension, is Europe and Africa. We've had Africa Connect for the better part of a decade, or Europe with Asia. So I've seen Asia Connect. And these partnerships are, they remain extremely valuable. But the fastest growth in NRENs and research education systems is actually happening in, if you want to call it the global South, in Africa, in Asia. And the interesting thing about why we need to collaborate more closer is that our challenges are quite similar. In some cases, they are more or less identical. So we are building NRENs in rapidly expanding systems, higher education systems. We have similar public funding constraints, complex regulatory landscapes that are not maybe so attuned to NREN business as elsewhere. And then we have this shared high dependency on international capacity and platforms. I see from the conversations I've been listening to that's fast changing in your region. But what it does do, it creates a natural foundation for direct Asia-Africa collaboration. And so I thought I would sort of discuss that from the WACREN experience, why we think this is something we should work at. I'm glad that colleagues like Eric Kickenberg from Nordnet has been trying to bring us closer together. But when I think of reasons, from my perspective, from the WACREN perspective, why this must happen, I think about, first of all, our maturity. So NRENs in your region and in the African region are generally either recently established within the last decade or so, or they're still consolidating, like some in my region are actually still consolidating. We just sort of connected 5 new countries. There are emerging NRENs in every sense of the word. And then there's this migration from connectivity into the services that have just been discussed here, identity, security, other kinds of digital and cloud services. And then same thing is happening in my region, so we are negotiating national mandates, trying to sort of establish sustainability models that are contextual. So NRENs vary by region. We think that the kind of challenges we experience and the context in which we work in very close to what happens in the large part of the APAN region. So it means we are actually trying to solve the same problems at the same time. So it makes sense to share as much as possible, whether it is governance models, operational playbooks, or service roadmaps. And in many cases, it will be more relevant than the more mature European or American models, which have sort of evolved over the last 2-3 decades. And then there are complementary strengths. So that's the first part. The first part is that we have similar maturity stages. Then we have complementary strengths. Apart from the fact that we're expanding the environment, you can see from the presentations that Asia has increasingly more experience and very strong experience in regional aggregation. And then I'm thinking about the SeaCRAN model that I'm very familiar with about Zoom licensing, because that's one conversation that we've actually had with your region. Whereas in Africa, we're looking at increasingly developing sort of shared infrastructure models for identity, open science, and security. So that the open source presentation is very interesting. We have something called Trust Broker Africa, which is a cooperation across security teams, cooperation platform for security teams in Africa, which I think in many ways will complement the actual.
Sorry to interrupt. Just for your information, Zoom project is not South Asian or Southeast Asian project. If you want to participate in Zoom project, please let me know. I will be pleased to extend that to WACRAN, okay? Any countries.
Exactly. Thank you. See, this is the kind of, because that's what I mean. So there's plenty of scope for that kind of collaboration. And then, to create the scale.
Let me ask you one question, if you
Yes.
could answer. We tried for South-South-North collaboration, right? Few days back, with an innovative program to start with Jian. So here I have Arifin, I have Nafiu, who actually worked with this project, and you were involved, but we couldn't make it. So is there any suggestion that in future we can do that?
Oh, definitely. I actually, my view of all of this is that, the North-South collaborations enable the South-South ones. So it's not like, I think that the most powerful model really is South-South collaboration supported by North-South facilitation. So if we're intentional about that, then there's certainly plenty of scope that we can work with, if that responds to your question.
Okay, thank you. Let me ask Nafiu, because we are running out of time. So Nafiu, are you there? Give him a mic.
Hello. Thank you so much for asking the question, sir. Yes, we tried to get a Giant leading NREN partner to get to the Giant Innovation Program. We have already collaborated with WACRAN on the project application, but we planned our partner as DAKE to apply for the Giant Innovation Program, but DAKE, at the last moment, DAKE has let us know that they are already engaged with various kinds of projects, and they have too much in their plate right now, and they can't actually get another more of a project to get from the Giant. But as we didn't have enough collaboration with other Giant NRENs, so that was the only option, and at the last moment of the application, as they have withdrawn themselves, we couldn't get enough time to collaborate with another European Giant, because the European or the Giant member NRENs need to be the leading applicant for the Giant Innovation Program. That was the issue that we couldn't solve.
What is the prospect that in future we will get someone from Giant to apply with us
Yeah.
or on behalf of us with that innovative
Yeah,
program?
it's not on behalf of us. It's more like with us because they will have to mention the partners in their projects as well. So as I was saying, the collaboration needs to be extended very much earlier from the time. So we need to get connected with them as much as we are seeing the GN participant countries are visiting the APAN conferences. We need to visit their conferences, their meetings, their countries, and we need to collaborate. Just not to visit, just we can also connect with online. Their working groups very warmly welcomes all of the Asian and all around the globe participants in their working group. So we can collaborate with them. And the next perspective is we also do have the Asia Connect 2 project coming up in the line. So in those perspective, we can also invite them to collaborate with us in those projects like we did earlier in your FDLU DCF and the BELISAC projects like this. So
Yeah, at that time Rene was there. He was a big-hearted man. So probably Asita, we are the failed party. Okay, you are one of the successful parties. You had your twinning program. So how could you make it? Do you have any suggestion for us? Rajan is not there. He is also a successful party. So can you give us any idea how you could got hold of SARF to help you join the twinning program?
That's actually from John side, right? We just submitted our thing and we were helped by, I think, Renee and then some from John. I think we need the more discussion with them how we can kind of generate the discussion and more collaboration. Probably we should plan.
Is there any powerhouse through which we can move?
You should know better than me, right? You'll be, yeah.
I knew, but that person doesn't have any power at the moment.
Okay.
I knew
It's
that.
not. It's. I don't think it's about the power. It's. I think it's about just getting together, getting to know. So maybe we should we should look at the two-way program, either through Asia Connect or other project, either taking our more of our people to TNZ or bringing more people from Giant to APAN. So one of these things going to happen to bring these collaborations, because we cannot force these things. We need to bring people together and get them talking, right? So that's the idea. And we see the benefits of those things happening, but I don't think we are doing it enough.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. That means we should collaborate more. And thank you, Omo, for your participation. We will keep in touch. Would have been a pleasure if we could get you here, but we missed you. So probably next time. Okay.
Well, thank you, Tori.
We'll
Did you notice my shirt?
yeah.
Oh, you can't see my shirt very well. Well, thank you, nephew. I'm wearing a BD shirt. I thought, in the spirit of collaboration, even though I wasn't there, I should wear the shirt and represent.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Send me a Wakren shirt. I will wear.
I will definitely get one ready for you. Take care.
So from South-South, North-South collaboration, we are moving towards the different types of collaboration. This is NREN private organization collaboration. And here is Sean, who will present the collaboration between BDREN and GSS. We presented it last time also. Is there any development or is there any new development coming up? Thank you, Sean. Sorry, I know that Sean is very quick in his presentation. We are already into your lunch time.
Yeah, I will be very, very quick.
All right, just to introduce, basically my name is Shan and I'm with GSS. We provide the Secretariat services to APAN. And with the collaboration with BD-REN, we actually developed the Orbit platform, which we are using right now for APAN61. We actually launched it at APAN60. And since then, we have got some good feedback and also other kinds of feedback where we need to really improve. The objectives was actually to create a more centralized operation, streamline the operations, and so empower high impact work. Just in a nutshell, what we wanted to see was because we were using many conference management platforms. And when as a secretariat and as what we're doing in our business, we noticed that there are many problems and it's disjointed. We didn't have proper fellowship management, grant management, call for papers, and it was too rigid and too shallow. So we identified the problems and we wanted to solve them. And who did we come to? We wanted to look at NRENs for assistance, and BD-REN literally worked together with BD-REN to come up with a solution. And we came up with three types of modules. One was for events, another one was to manage finance, and also for people, meaning we're centralizing the HR and administrative functions. The Orbit events, which we're using right now, provides end-to-end setup and coordination. We have real-time insights where it's very pivotal for the administrators of the events to have thorough views of whatever they are organizing. Communication and community engagement where everyone can connect with one another, and basically QR check-ins and so forth. One of the most important features is basically the admin control. What we need to give is the control to admin for managing the events effectively and efficiently. And what we wanted to know as admins before and also ongoing, we needed to add on more features that actually make sense to while organizing these kind of events. And since the last update, what we put on now is basically the fellowship and call for papers, call for proposal functions, which now admins are able to receive fellowship applications and also what you call have country, all the managers from different countries to actually give their input and also approve those fellows all online. And the call for papers too, where the review is done online and also everything is done through this portal. So everybody is able to actually see the results and get real-time results on the go. User access, we're trying to make it as simple but independent for users. For speakers, they are able to actually put in the speakers' details, session descriptions all on their own, and they have the freedom to do so and also the flexibility. It's a mobile app, so we have the app on the Google Play Store and the iOS App Store. We're trying to make this as simple as possible, where it's easy for you to navigate, easy for you to get the information that you need. It's an ongoing process. There are some settings that we want to change as we go along. We are trying to make them available. And at the end, I think we are trying to get out a feedback form as well through your Orbit platform, because we believe in continuous improvement. And with the team from BD-REN, this is really done efficiently, it's done fast. There's never a no, so that's a good thing. And that we really, what you call, collaborate on finding these improvements for the platform. Yeah, so that whole encapsulates the whole idea of collaboration. We as a private company from Malaysia, what we thought was leveraging on the expertise that we have among the NREN community. And what we find is the efficiency, the speed, and the sheer passion of trying to get something up to the public and up to the community is really outstanding. And for us, as coming from the industry, what we see is the passion and the idealism that it needs to work well, and it needs to give its objective to the people is really great. And that's what we're looking for. From Orbit, actually, what the development was that the Malaysian government now actually is using a part of Orbit that we have customized now for their alumni
program, which now is a success because now we have actually developed the orbit and now we are moving on to various other applications. My Digital is actually the nation's digitalization government agency, and they've given the approval, and we're actually running this right now with them. And that shows that the products that we actually come up with, the collaboration with BDREN or even NRENs per se, is of good quality, and it can reach greater heights. What's next is basically for Orbit to go through further expansion, scalable offerings, and AI integration. We're looking into that as well. And I think what we will also be looking with Torit's team, or even a call to other NRENs, is that we want to work with you. We want to make sure that there are things and products and services that we can actually collaborate on and bring it to the market. It's basically a very much a win-win situation between both parties. So yeah, get in touch with us for any special packages for NREN and collaboration and partnership. Hope I covered as fast as I can. Thank you.
Thank you, Shan. So wonderful presentation. Shan, don't go away. I have something for you. And also the other overseas presenter who didn't receive this gift from BDREN. Asita, you received this gift? Not the dinner one. This is a different one. No, no, no. There is a separate gift for him to be the speaker in this session. Come, come, come. Asita, come here. Swami, you don't want a gift from BDREN? Where is Shankar? No. How come? You cannot take it. Okay, please. Thank you. Handshake? Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Let us talk about open source. Is South Asia